All right, this is topic 11 for second grade. This just has a fun math and science project you can choose to do if you'd like to, but we're going to go to the back of this page and do a review. A lot of this is review from topic 10 to make sure that everybody has solid understanding heading into topic 11. Okay, so vocabulary. Circle a number that is less than 607. So we can take a look here at the numbers in the hundreds place. We know 5 is less than 6, so 598 would work. 608 is one more than 607, and 706 is way more. So 598 works. Number 2, circle each number that is greater than 299. So we've got our 2s, so we know 3 is larger, greater than 299. 300 is also larger than 299. 298 we know is less than. Okay. Number 3, circle the group of numbers that decrease by 100 from left to right. So here's our left, here's our right. We're going to do hops backwards by 100. 650, 550, this is already working. 450, 350. So that group works. 320, 420, wait, we need decrease. That means it gets less than. This is adding by 100s, so that's not going to work. 570, 560, 550, 540. No, this is decreasing by 10, not in the hundreds. So our top row is the only one that's going to work. Okay, subtraction facts, write each difference. Remember, the sum is what we get when we add numbers together. The difference is when we subtract. So 14 minus 7 is 7. 11 minus 4 is 7. And 16 minus 9 is also 7. Okay, we're going to be doing regrouping. Use regrouping to find the difference. Remember, the difference is the answer. Okay, be ready to explain your work. We're going to have to regroup on this one. It already lets us know. So 4 minus 9. 4 minus 9 won't work. So we know we're going to have to make that 14 minus 9. 14 minus 9 is 5. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay, Ben has 64 comic books. He gives 36 comic books to his friends. Giving away something is going to mean that we're subtracting. How many comic books does Ben have left? So we had 64 comic books minus 36 comic books. 4 minus 6, 4 minus 6 is not going to work. We're going to have to regroup. That becomes 14, and that becomes 5 because we took one group of 10 and moved it over here. 14 minus 6 is 8, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So our answer is 28 comic books. So that's a review heading into lesson 11. So here is lesson 11 here. I'm going to go ahead and tape it up. We're just going to be subtracting groups of 10 and groups of 100. Lesson 10 was all about adding tens and hundreds. This time we're going to be subtracting. So it's going to be very similar to what we're doing. We're just going to be subtracting rather than adding. Okay? There are 456 ears of corn growing in a field. How many ears will be left if 10 ears are harvested? How many ears will be left if 100 ears are harvested? How can you use mental math to find your answers? Okay, so right here we have our equation, 456 minus 10 and 456 minus 100. Okay, now we can use a number line if we want to. We can also think in our head. Again, it wants us to use mental math, but I'm going to draw it out a little bit so that we can take a look at it. Okay, we can use a number line here if we have 456 and we're subtracting 10. We know that would be 446. You could also stack it, 456 minus 10. 6 minus 0 is 6. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4, we're just going to draw it straight down. We know it's going to be 446. Okay, same thing with 456 minus 100. So we had 456 minus 100. So all we're going to be doing is subtracting 100 from the numbers in the hundreds place. So we know that 456 minus 100, 6 minus 0 is 6, 5 minus 0 is 5, 4 minus 1 is 3, is going to be 356. So again, we did it visually. Mental math is great because you can take a look at it in your head. 456 minus 10, you know you can just subtract 1 from whatever number is in the tens place. And this one also, you can subtract 1 from whatever number is in the hundreds place. Okay, let's flip it over and take a look at the information on the back. Okay, you can use mental math to subtract 10 or 100 from 3-digit numbers. So you can find 328 minus 10 or 328 minus 100. Subtracting 10 makes the tens digit go down by 1. I know 2 minus 1 equals 1, so 328 minus 10 is 318. Subtracting 100 makes the hundreds digits go down by 1. So I know 3 minus 1 equals 2, so 328 minus 100 is 228. Sometimes subtracting 10 changes the tens and hundreds digits. So take a look at this. 500 minus 10. Well, 500 minus 10 we know is going to be 490. So that changed both the hundreds and the tens digit. Okay, do you understand? Show me. Use mental math to find 457 minus 10 and 457 minus 100. So if we're minusing 10, we're subtracting 10, and 10 is from the tens place. So we have a 5 in the tens place, minus 10, we know is going to be 447, right? And then this is minus 100. So we're really just changing what's in the hundreds place. 4 minus 1 is 3, and the rest of it stays the same. So we can kind of think about it in our head, okay? So we have 200, 100, 200, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, minus 10 and minus 100. So 214 minus 10. So if we got rid of that tens block there, we would have 204. This is a nice visual way to take a look at it. If we have 214 and we get rid of this first hundreds here, we would have 110 plus 4. So 110 plus 4 is 114. Okay, over here, let's count and see what we've got. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So we have 500 and 10, 20, 520, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 525. So we know we've got 525 minus 10 and 525 minus 100. So looking at our chart here, if we're just getting rid of one of these tens, we have 500 and 1 plus 5, 515. And then 525 minus 100, so let's get rid of this hundreds block here. So now we have 100, 200, 300, 425, 425. So again, the pictures just give us a little bit of a visual look on there. So I'm going to move this up real fast so I can get the bottom of the page in here. Okay, 738 minus 10. This is what we're just dealing with here. So we know that 3 minus 1, because it's the tens place, right? 8 minus 0 is 8. 3 minus 1 is 2. And 7 minus nothing is 7. 728 for that one. And then we can take a look at this 738 minus 100. Now really we're just dealing with the hundreds place here. Okay? 8 minus 0 is 8. 3 minus 0 is 3. 7 minus 1 is 6. Okay? And the more you do it, the easier it will be for you to see the patterns in it. 100 minus 10, that's easy. You guys can do that one in your head. And 100 minus 100, that's easy also. Okay, let's take a look at our next page. It's independent practice. So now is the time to actually pause the video, get your independent practice done, and then turn the video back on when you're done so that you can check your answers. Okay, let's go ahead and total this up. 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250. So 250 minus 10 and 250 minus 100. So 250 minus 10, if we get rid of one of these tens, we can see here we have 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240. 240. Then if we have 250 minus 100, I'll just get rid of that. We know we've got 100 and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 150. Okay? Let's take a look over here. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. 600. So we have 600 plus 10, 20, 30 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know it's going to be 634 minus 10 and minus 100. Okay? 634 minus 10. If I get rid of one of these, that'll put us at 20, correct? So that would become 624. Now this time we're dealing with the hundreds. So we're going to take away one of these blocks of 100. So we know 6 minus 1 is 5, but none of the other numbers in the tens are the ones going to be affected. Okay, this is 102. So 102, 102, minus 10 and minus 100. So 102 minus 10, you can count backwards, you can use your mental math, but we know 10 minus 1 is 9, so it's going to be 92 for that one. And 102 minus 100, think about that, if we get rid of that whole, we just have 2 left. Okay, 719 minus 10, we're just dealing with things in the tens place. 1 minus 1 is going to be 0, so it's going to be 709. 400 minus 100, well, we're just dealing with subtracting what's there because these numbers aren't going to change. So 4 minus 1 is 300. 308 minus 10. So we're dealing with the tens place here. 308 minus 10. Might be great to think of a hundreds chart. 308 minus 10 would take us to 298 as we count backwards. 520 minus 100. So again, we're just dealing with the numbers in the hundreds place. So 5 minus 1 is 4, and nothing is going to change with those two numbers in the tens and the ones. 475 minus 10, we're just dealing with numbers in the tens place. So 7 minus 1 is 6. 9 is going to stay the same. And 5. Okay. 143 minus 100, 1 minus 1 is going to be 0. And then we're just going to be left with 43 here. Okay, algebra. We're going to go through and figure out what the missing numbers are. Again, the big clue on this one is we are subtracting by tens and 100s. So that's basically what we're going to be putting in the boxes. 362 minus something is going to be 352. Well, it's not going to be 100 because the number in the hundreds are the same, but the numbers in the tens place did change, so we know we're subtracting 10. 801 minus something equals 701. We know that is going to be 100 because the numbers in the hundreds place changed. 449 equals 449 minus something. Well, if we have 449 minus 10, we'd have 539 minus 10, we'd have 539. That's not going to work, so we know it's got to be 100. 657 minus something equals 647. So the numbers in the hundreds place didn't change, so we know that's just going to be subtracting by 10. 215 minus something equals 205. So the numbers in the hundreds place haven't changed, but the ones in the tens have, so we're just subtracting 10. And 700 minus something is 690. Now take a look at this one. The numbers in the hundreds places did change, but by what? We went from 700 to 690. So we didn't subtract 100. That would be 600. We just subtracted 10 to get to 690. Okay, let's take a look at our last page here. Okay. Marnie is studying facts about bees. She finds that one type of bee can pollinate 955 plants each day. A different type of bee pollinates 100 fewer. Fewer lets us know we're going to be subtracting. 100 fewer plants. How many plants does it pollinate? So if we have 955 minus 100, we know it's going to be 855 or 855 plants. Okay? And the reason why we want to try and use mental math is to get in the habit of this, because when we go through and stack it, it takes a lot more time. Take a look at this. If we have to go through and stack each one, 5 minus 0 is 5, 5 minus 0 is 5, 9 minus 1 is 8. If we can get used to doing mental math, we can process the answers a lot faster. Okay, there was a marathon in Dundee. 10 of the runners did not finish the marathon. How many runners finished the marathon? All right, so there were 689 total runners in the marathon that started. 10 did not finish, okay? So now what we're doing is we're just dealing with the numbers in the tens place. So 9 minus 0 is still 9. 8 minus 1 is 7. And 6 minus nothing is still 6. So 679 runners. Okay, higher order thinking. And yes, we are doing higher order thinking on all of these. I know sometimes in class we'll skip it and do it together as a group or just kind of gloss over it a little bit. But because we're doing virtual learning, we're actually going to cover all of it. Okay, think of a 3-digit number. Write a number story subtracting 100 from your number, then complete the equation to show your subtraction. So again, you can put whatever you want to. I can say, I saw 721 clouds on Monday. On Tuesday, I saw, let's say, 100 less clouds. Okay, so we see how many I saw on Tuesday. 721 minus 100 is going to be 621. Okay, now for the assessment, I want you to pause the video, do the assessment, and then put the video back on to check your answers. Okay. Which is equal to 100 less than 463. So 463, they're asking what is equal to 100 less than, okay? What is equal to 100 less than 463, okay? So 463 minus 100, we know is 363, okay? But it says choose all that apply, so we want to double check. 300 plus 60 plus 3 equals 363. 563 does not equal, and 500 plus 60 plus 3 also does not equal. So I know it's going to be those two. Great job, everybody.